name is Kay Norvell. I live at 2305 Saddle Springs Drive. My neighborhood adjoins Seven Gables Farms, and I'd just like to say ditto and kudos to the Mountain Road people. Our hearts are kind of joined together. We've worked all together on this thing that's occurred to all of us, so they echo our thoughts and sentiments. While in the short term there are certainly issues of a more critical nature facing every community, few will have more of a long-term permanent impact and effect on the nature and character of a community than the construction of wireless telecommunication towers, even if co-located on existing structures. The number, placement, and appearance of these facilities go to the heart of preserving the nature and character of a community. The effects of your decision tonight, regarding these facilities will have to be lived with for decades. And the question is the nature, character, and safety of our community worth protecting? I think it is. And I think many residents of Milton do so as well. I have gathered over 250 signatures on a petition in protest of all three towers in Milton. Some items you need to reflect on when considering these petitions. Number one, the proposed structure will be visible from Hopewell Road and will stand over 60 feet above surrounding trees. The tower will be placed in an open pasture with minimal trees adjacent to it. This picture was caught. This is from a T-Mobile website. I did not pretend to even try to do that. But that is from one of their websites that is from looking from Hopewell Road. A little bit different from the one they showed. I do not think it blends in with the existing character of Milton. 5 to 6 large pine trees will be removed for construction of the base station. And this tower will sit towards the front of the property, not in the middle of the 26 acres. This is a commercial structure. There are no commercial structures in our area. The residents in this area bought their homes because of the residential and or rural view that Milton has to offer. The tower would diminish this type of view. The proposed garish tower is not visibly compatible with the nature and character of Milton. Number two, it is critical to have the propagation studies that are submitted with the petition reviewed by a non-biased third party, which has been done. Far too frequently, the propagation studies submitted by the applicant reflect the desires of the company as opposed to the actual needs. In other words, the outcome was predetermined, and the studies were designed to reflect this predetermined outcome. In essence, they become self-fulfilling prophecies. The effects of not understanding the difference between a carrier's legitimate, provable needs and its objections, desires, are significant and can mean the difference between the construction of a new tower and being able to co-locate on an existing facility of some type. Number three, the FCC Act of 1996 only requires that cell service is available to a community. It does not specify that service is available from every carrier. A cell phone will connect to any tower for service, not just T-Mobile. We have over 77 towers and antennas within a 4-mile radius of Seven Gables Farms. I have emails supporting excellent service in our area from Verizon, AT&T, and even T-Mobile customers, so no need for a new tower. T-Mobile needs to prove there is a significant gap of coverage in this area. I have conducted my own study using a T-Mobile phone. Not quite as good as the Mountain Road people, I will say that. My husband is a T-Mobile customer. My son-in-law-to-be is a T-Mobile customer, and he occasionally works out of our home. And we also have a basement that is totally enclosed with no windows, and he gets excellent service even in that location. But I have driven extensively throughout Milton, concentrating along Hopewell Road, Cockburn Road, through numerous neighborhoods off at these two roads surrounding the area that would be affected by the new tower. These calls were made at different times of the day, inside and outside of the car, as well as inside of many of the homes in the area. No drop calls, good reception. Again, no need for a new tower. My husband, who has T-Mobile, has said his cell service has actually improved over the past 6 months. I do not believe there is a significant gap in service, but a significant gap in profits that is motivating T-Mobile to build this tower in our beautiful area. I think an actual person with T-Mobile service in the area documenting no drop calls is more relevant than a study on paper. I also have emails from residents in the surrounding area documenting that their cell service is excellent in this proposed area. Several have T-Mobile service, but not many. If the law is passed to outlaw the usage of phones while driving, this is a moot point of needing additional towers for drivers through the area. Lastly, I would like to share with you a picture that was taken of a view from my properties, and the balloon test was made by T-Mobile. A little bit different from the one that you see that T-Mobile submitted. And if you would lower that, you can see that that is where the balloon was. It's quite a bit higher than what they showed on their picture, which is extremely deceiving and not truthful at all. I live right across the street from the house that they supposedly photographed from. So, which view would increase the value of your home? Which view is consistent with the existing character of Milton? We can argue all day long whether it will decrease property values. If you were looking, would you buy this house with the cell tower behind it? I don't think you would. I have a letter from Art Worley, who has been an active realtor in the Alpharetta Milton area for 25 years. And on it he states, I am a resident of the city of Milton and have lived and worked here as a residential realtor for the past 25 years. In my professional opinion, I believe it would be very detrimental to the value of residential real estate to be in close proximity to a cell tower in the city of Milton or elsewhere. It is difficult to calculate an exact devaluation figure or percentage, but I have seen it over and over. Homes do not sell if they have a cell tower, power lines, or similar utility structures within view of the property. It is definitely a deal killer and very detrimental to the home's value. The residents of Milton are not against progress in the wireless community. However, a need for such intrusions, such as a 150-foot tower, should exist. A community should be protected from unnecessary, visually obtrusive facilities that can change the nature and character of the community permanently. The proposed cell tower is inconsistent with the adjacent land uses of single-family residences on large agriculture parcels and incompatible based on the location of the tower adjacent to the residential structures. The cellular service in our area is excellent. T-Mobile has not shown there is a significant gap in service. We are asking the Planning Commission to deny the T-Mobile petition UL 9.
My name is Michael McAlpin. I live at 2380 Saddle Springs Drive in Milton. And I was at the January 13th meeting where T-Mobile presented their case. They spoke to in-building coverage, in-vehicle coverage, and on-street coverage. But when they were asked how many homes were in the propagation area for improved service, they said they didn't know. When they were asked what the vehicular traffic was, they said they didn't know. When they were asked what their market share was, they said they wouldn't disclose. When asked what their drop call rate was, they said they wouldn't disclose. Yet publicly available information can fill in those blanks so that the amount of improvement can be reasonably sized.
2 minutes left.
You've heard the propagation area, Sunnybrook Farms, Greystone, Timber Place, Devonshire Farms, some other areas. There are a total of 238 homes in that propagation area. But Consumer Reports magazine says that 17% don't have cell phones. That adjusted means 198 homes. Gardner Research Group says T-Mobile has 10.55% market share. Publicly available, I'll leave citations. That leaves 21 homes that may experience some level of improvement. Vehicular traffic, there is a program called the STARS program. It's the Georgia State Traffic and Report Statistics. It's little poses you see on the side of the road. There's actually 26,290 vehicles that run through the propagation area. If you take an average time of travel put together in that area, and their 3% drop rate and their 10% market share, they'd be able to eliminate perhaps as much as 4 minutes in aggregate of the 26,000 cars in drop call rate. So in summary, the scant amount of improved coverage really doesn't bear the burden of the community. Thank you for your time.